Going to get stuck into that in just a little bit. First up, though, the match that has us all foaming at the mouth because it's Man City versus Liverpool. First up, 12:30 UK time after the international break. Couldn't ask for a better way to kick off. Let's hear from Pep Guardiola on his opposite number, Jurgen Klopp, and his achievements at Liverpool.
Well, I think we are all friends. We know each other quite well. Of course, the time goes forward. So I've been Jurgen 8 years or 9 years in Liverpool, and of course, it's not the same players than since the start. And yeah, rebuilt a little bit the team. The idea is quite similar. Of course, now Alexander-Arnold can play more inside sometimes outside. But the idea is quite similar and always have been our best rivals. And sometimes when the season didn't work well, was many injuries they had. Top club, top team, and yeah, looking forward for it.
You've been involved as a player and as a manager in big games. In world football now, this game, Manchester City versus Liverpool, is it up there with the likes of Barcelona and Real Madrid, in your opinion?
No, it's different. I think it's different. If you compare Barcelona and Madrid, I think it's different. So Man City was never in the past. The last, I don't know, 20, 30, 40 years was not, contender as Liverpool. But yeah, the last decade, since I think I'm here and they are here, we have been our best rivals. So this is the reality. And of course, still we are there. And that is a big compliment from Liverpool, Man City, that after many years, still we are there.
Hi, Pep. Erling Haaland missed Norway's game this week. Is he going to be fit for the game?
He trained yesterday with some needles, but yeah, today was the last training. Hopefully he can be part of that.
This time last week, we learned that Everton had been deducted 10 points by the Premier League, and amid all the discussion of that, people immediately started to talk about Manchester City and the 115 charges. You said the last time you spoke about that you wanted it dealt with immediately. It's not been dealt with immediately. What are your thoughts on that? Is it? Has your view changed? And do you still believe the club in the same way that you've always done in terms of answering those charges?
Why should not believe? What change?
Time. People change their minds.
It's not the case because this is the judge and the court and the Premier League lawyers and our lawyers to at the end make our defense, a bold defense in front of the judge, and after he go decide. I didn't change 1 second my opinion about take time, wait and see what they're going to decide, and after we'll accept the resolution. So all of you are journalists, and of course I'm not going to say one word about Everton because I don't know the reality or really happened. You are journalists, maybe you know, but that is for sure because I asked to the team that is two completely different cases. But completely. I know when the people like saying, okay, what City, why don't go to the conference? Wait, wait. And after, what's going to happen is going to happen.
Does it bother you that some people have already made their minds up that the club are guilty anyway?
Sorry?
Does it bother you that some people have already made their minds up that the club is guilty anyway?
Well, when you read and they should be relegated, we should be relegated, of course. And yeah, of course, because nobody knows exactly. All the people that say that didn't read the statement, didn't know exactly what happened. So not even myself happened. I didn't read all the breaches. I didn't read all our defense. So wait, what I said when a month ago it's coming here, I came here and I said, okay, if we have something wrong, okay, we'll be punished. So, but wait, we can defend ourselves, isn't it? We can defend what the people accuse us. So we are not agree what they say. We are going to defend. And after, when the revolution must be done. After that, I will be here like a spokesman of my club, and I want to say what the club I relate to the statement I've done before, but when I want to say the case for Everton, but I don't know what happened. Only I know for my lawyers, for the people in the clubs, is completely different cases. So that's why we cannot compare, because every case is completely different.
Looking forward to it, but complicated set of TV rights and all sorts of things needing to come together and be worked out. City playing in midweek in the Champions League. That's why we're having this game after the international break at 12:30.
Yeah, and long may it continue. I listen. All of these arguments over when the teams play. This is the best, the richest, the most watched league in the world, and the clubs themselves decide when they want to play. And Liverpool and Manchester City, they both have stellar squads that are superb, that are so finely tuned and assembled. And I almost wonder if there's a little bit of, what's the word I'm looking for? Humility, maybe, because they've done wonderful jobs to put together two sets of players that are ready to run for their lives. And you can put any permutation of players on either side onto the pitch tomorrow morning, and they will give us a spectacle. As far as Manchester City are concerned, we know all about their ability to impose themselves on the opposition. We know all about the invincibility of the Etihad Stadium. We've got to go back to December 2022 for the last time they lost there in the Premier League. And I just think, as far as Liverpool are concerned, that front line, if you're a defender, I'm glad you're not. You must be thinking, I'm glad I'm not a defender playing against that Liverpool side tomorrow, because they're like the Avengers coming at you from all angles with all sorts of skills and offensive power. It's going to be a fabulous match tomorrow. And actually, as you say, it is so much more worth focusing on what both sides can bring to the table rather than any of the concerns that they might have around when it's scheduled.
I'm excited for the game. I'm even more excited now because you've used a Marvel reference. That is just, wow, man.
That's what my kids are watching at the moment at home.
Okay, well, I'd be watching that as well. Tish, I'd love to hear your thoughts on City so far. You know, as Darren was saying, you have to go very far back for the last time they lost at home, but 23 games in a row in all competitions, winning at the Etihad. It's superb.
Psychologically, it's a lift for them right away. They've built up that confidence, momentum, belief, so they actually believe they're going to win. At the worst case, they won't lose. And that does have an effect on opposing teams. When you go there, you know that they've not been beaten for so long, and you probably get one or two opportunities and you have to take them, because the likelihood is if you don't, you will get punished. So they've definitely got an edge over other teams.
Zesh, I joked a second ago about the fact that if you're a defender, you're worried about all of the players coming at you. But a big bedrock of Manchester City's success is that defence. How do you even start to think about plan for an attack where there are so many players, Diaz, Nunez, Salah, the ability to score from midfield, Jabosla? If you're a centre-half, if you're Ruben Diaz, what are you telling the players?
I think players at that level, they solve problems on the pitch themselves. So if they see that they're trying to get in behind, they're experienced enough to know to drop off. If they see they're now trying to play through, they're very experienced, they'll organise the team in front. And if they're trying to go around and put crosses in, they will solve it on themselves. So that's the reason why they're at that level. So I think no matter what Liverpool tried to do, Manchester City, Pep, the team, the preparation would have prepared for all what-if scenarios. But this is the difference at that level. You have to stay switched on, because it could be one set piece in the end. That's the undoing. So it's really a game of concentration and focus for both sides, because I think one key moment could decide it.
What I also find fascinating now, as you're saying, one key moment, what happened last time out against Chelsea? And how much does that add to it in terms of, you know, what Liverpool are looking to emulate that Chelsea made? 4 goals. I mean,
absolutely, for either side. And one thing that surprised me about that game was that City conceded 4 goals. That City went ahead and were pegged back. You know, that City didn't see the job through once they got their noses in front. It was an incredible game, but these are the fine margins you're dealing with the top teams in the top league in the world. I think as far as City are concerned, they've got so many fabulous players and they've got the ability to breach any front line as well. And obviously, when you've got a guy hunting for his 50th Premier League goal, I mean, goodness me, Erling Haaland.
The numbers are just ridiculous. We keep saying it's scary hours when it comes to Erling Haaland. But defenders, not such a great time.
I've got this thing I always say. So Haaland is like the monster that's chasing you, and you're in the car, and the car won't start if you're a defender. Because he just stalks you, and he's, you know, obviously from the penalty spot, he's got no fear. But it's his ability to find space in behind to wrong foot defenders. I mean, how do you leave a guy that good that much space?
Yeah, no matter what you do, he'll find a way. So if you break him down as a forward and have a little checklist, or is he deceptive? Is his positioning good? Is he on the move? Is he mobile in between? For a defender, all of these things are a nightmare. And he's doing it all the time.
Yeah.
So no matter what you do, in an essence, you're wrong. So if you go tight, he can spin in behind, he can have a battle, he can fight. So he's got a lot of tools in his locker that can undo you. So it's, a lot of teams have put 2 onto him. But even that's not been successful because someone else is free. Yeah. So even if he doesn't touch the ball, he's freed up enough space. So I'm glad I'm not playing. Put it that way.
Okay, well, here's the record that Darren was talking about. Fastest potentially to 50 goals, because those 2 goals that he scored against Chelsea took him to 49 goals in 47 Premier League appearances. You were saying there about how he manages to find space, how he manages to score goals, how he manages to just outsmart defenders, and he's doing it in this league, and he's doing it week in and week out. Just look at that. Andy Cole was, after 65 games, he got his 50th. Haaland is just, it's scary.
And Julia, it's so important that you just made that point about this league, because when he was doing it in the German league, lots of people said, well, it's a German league. They're very disparaging and disrespectful, calling it a farmers' league. It's a fabulous league, the Bundesliga. But this league is more competitive than any other in European and world football. At the moment, there are 4 teams, 5 you could argue that some people say could be in with a shout of the title. And he plays for the most demanding manager, I would argue, in world football. And yet he is managing to rack up those numbers in so few games. I think us journalists, we've been debating where the game's going to be won and lost tomorrow. I think it will be in defence, because I think City's attack will be able to find holes in the Liverpool defence, more holes in the Liverpool defence than they will find in the City defence. And that's quite a hard thing to say when you've come off the back of 4-4 against Chelsea, to be fair. But I just think that at the Etihad, where they've got such an invincible record, it could well be... Listen, you've got to go back to 1937 for the last time Liverpool won back-to-back games against City at City. Yeah. I think as far as City are concerned, they're going to be too strong tomorrow.
This is why Zesh and I didn't prepare any stats come through. In recent years, City versus Liverpool has been the Premier League's most intense rivalry, often a title-deciding one. City have been indestructible at the Etihad, setting new records, and that adds extra spice to this weekend's already epic tie. Simply remarkable. Didn't think we'd ever be seeing Taylor Swift on Team Talks, but there you go. Let's hear now from Pep's opposite number, since we've heard from him. Here's Jurgen Klopp ahead of the big game.
I don't know even the lineup from last season, and not because I don't want to know it, I just don't think like this, and I don't want to compare and stuff like this. We had to improve from last season, it's clear. I actually think without any kind of changes we would have improved from last season, because the last season was just not good enough, was not ourselves and these kind of things, but we had to make changes as well, and we did that. And I'm not sure I've described the team as 2.0. I think it's described rather the project, or the things we have to do as we need to create Liverpool 2.0. Because we had a very successful team, and super team and super boys, super characters, but time is running. We all get older and stuff like this, and we will never be successful because we were successful. And that's what we had to not to understand, we knew it, but what we had to do, and that's what we did. And so far it looks like we brought in good players and all that, and now we have to make sure that we bring that consistently on the pitch. And Saturday is a big one, no doubt about that. It's the strongest team in the world for the last years, and so that's a massive task for each football team in the world, for us as well, but we will give it a try anyway.
City won 23 games in a row.
So we shall not drive. And my record, our record is not great, right? That's the next thing you will tell me probably.
Well, I was going to ask, how much is this about maybe stopping them playing, and how much is it about allowing your team to express themselves?
What I know, the longer a run is going, the more likely it is that it ends. So we had that as well. I'm not sure it was Burnley, I think. Yeah. So there's always, it took much longer, by the way, but so we know they are extremely strong, and it's nothing what I can say what makes them weaker, to be honest. Otherwise I would say it, constantly repeat it, but there's nothing. This is a tough game, but yeah, whatever happens last year, what happened 2 years ago, 3 years ago, is just a memory. It's nothing else. So we have to be ready for tomorrow, and that's what we try to be. And if we are that, that's what I said millions of times.